Oh, this is a tough one. Zach Wilson. It has been a rough road. If you've been watching this channel, if you go back and watch old videos, you'll know that I have been probably one of Zach Wilson's biggest supporters. It goes back to even before we drafted him. It was before we drafted him. My biggest fear before that draft, a couple of months before, I mean, it got more comfortable as we got closer. Trades took place, and I knew we were taking a quarterback. But before that all happened, during the whole Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes thing, the moment the Jets beat the Rams, my mind switched, and I said, well, who else is there? I started watching Justin Fields, and I liked what I saw, but I had concerns. And it's a bias. We've seen a million great athletic running back type quarterbacks that are just incredible athletes. And sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. So there's a bias. I'm worried about that. Is he going to be like one of these guys that's good for 2 or 3 years and then his body wears down from being hit or he gets hurt and he never pans out? We kind of saw that with RG3. But then at the same time, at that moment, I'm watching Lamar Jackson tear the league apart. And take Lamar Jackson, my God. I would love to have Lamar Jackson. So it was hard to know with Justin Fields. And so I started watching him. And of course, by bad luck, I catch him on his worst game ever against Utah. I mean, he was horrible. So that totally scared me away from him. And then I watched some Zach Wilson. I heard about this guy, Zach Wilson. He started popping up in people's conversations, no idea who he was. Started watching, and I said, oh, yeah, that's the guy. Because what I was watching was laser accuracy. I mean, he wasn't just accurate. The ball placement was ridiculous. I said, this guy is insane. I have come to realize that I am the worst evaluator of quarterbacks in the world. Because the first time I saw Baker Mayfield play in the NFL against the Jets, I proclaimed him the next superstar. It's true. I did. And I've just got to understand and accept that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. I am just as wrong as everybody else. All I know is what's right and what seems to work, instead of me trying to guess or look at them and evaluate, is to let them play a few games, to let them play a bunch of games and watch. Like from afar, years ago, I knew Flacco was really good his rookie year. I said, oh, because you just heard about it. You saw the highlights, and it was week after week. And I said, wow, they got a good quarterback. Matt Ryan, you knew right away he was a good quarterback. It didn't take long. When Rivers started to play for San Diego, my brother was, heavily, in San Diego and watching them, and we'd go to games, and you knew Philip Rivers was good right away. You knew. But with Zach Wilson, and by the way, with Sam Darnold, I was so down on him by even before the third year, much more than I was on Geno Smith, because Geno Smith didn't regress. He actually had a good last game as a Jet. I was actually confused. I didn't know why he never got to start the next year, because I thought I was still high on Geno. I was like, whoa, do you see that game against Miami? Anybody look at the last game of the season that Geno played as a Jet against Miami and tell me why you wouldn't be thinking this could be our quarterback. But I guess you can't tell by one game. And it's not like he lit it up for Seattle the next year. It took 7 years. But anyway, Zach is the first guy, because usually I look at results. I use logic. I get excited. I didn't with Baker, because I watched him tear us apart. And I said, this is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. He drops back, his first game ever, and he's throwing bullets, dimes to everybody. And then people said, yeah, but that was against the Jets. And I guess they were right. The 2018 Jets. Yeah. So anyway, here we go with Zach. And man, I fell in love with him in college, and I was so happy when we drafted him, and I bought his jersey, and I was the biggest Zach guy. And for the last 2 years, I have made every excuse in the book. You can't teach arm talent. Look at his eliteness and the way he could escape in the pocket. But when I finally saw him in New England, something happened. I couldn't anymore. I couldn't make the excuse anymore. And when that happens, what happens is everything else you defended, you can take another look. And I took another look. And I said, when your greatest claim to fame is he beat Buffalo, when that's the best thing he did, and he threw for 149 yards. And that's the best thing he did as a Jet in 20 games, right? Then I looked at the Tennessee game, and I realized it was one play. I fell in love with him from last year. One play. Then I thought about the other plays, the plays where we almost lost the game. It shouldn't have went to overtime. He couldn't throw a 5-yard pass to a wide open guy in the end zone. Forget who it was. Westcott, something like that. Then in the overtime, he could have cinched the game for us, and we could have round the clock out at one point. And it was wide open. I think it was Corey Davis or someone like that, 10 yards away from him. And he just missed them for no reason. And I made excuses. Rookie, one bad pass. Made excuses. I think back at all the excuses and the times that I defended him. The bad screen passes, the this, the that, the times where he ran, yeah, but the reason he had to run and scramble was because he sat in the pocket for 3 or 4 seconds and would not get rid of the ball. Now, I want to be wrong. I put my heart into this kid for 2 years. I want to be wrong. I want him to be a star. I hope I'm wrong. If he ever gets on the field as a Jet again, I will root for him so hard. And I will hope that this video makes me eat crow forever. So don't understand that. I'm not on either side. I'm not a Zach guy or a Mike White guy. That's stupid. If you identify as one of that, it's stupid. Not you, but it's stupid. And you need to wake up. I'm a Jets guy. I'm a Jets guy. I want the best quarterback at the moment out there. I have no question in my mind that Mike White is the better quarterback right now. Wake up if you can't see that. He's better in every aspect of the game except scrambling. Every aspect. There's no comparison. You can't compare these two players now. Mike White is decisive. He throws the ball to all levels. He gets the ball to our receivers. We realize that we have receivers now because we have a real quarterback. Can Zach Wilson turn it around? I don't know if I've ever seen. If he turns it around and becomes a star, it'll be the biggest turnaround in my experience that I know of that I can name. Forget Geno Smith. It's not the same thing because Geno Smith wasn't nearly this bad. Ever. At any point of his career, Geno Smith was not this bad. He was leading us back to wins in the fourth quarter his rookie year. He was never this bad. But I will be thrilled. I will root for him. I will root for anybody that puts the Jet uniform on. Anybody. And I will trust my coaching staff that if they put Mike White in during a playoff run, they know that he's better than Zach right now. And if for any reason during this season they go back to Zach, it'll mean that they believe that Zach is better than him at the moment because they're watching him in practice. They're seeing it. I don't think that's going to happen this year unless Mike White really falls apart, which I hope doesn't happen because I'm a Jets fan. And you shouldn't hope for it to happen either. You should hope that Mike White is a superstar. You should hope that everybody that puts our uniform on is a superstar. How could you be a fan of a team and not feel that way? So I'm not a Zach guy or a Mike White guy. I'm a Jet guy. I want Mike White right now to work out and be great. So even I know I'm not going to sit there and proclaim him a great quarterback. It's only been 2 games this season. But I'm going to hope to hell he is. And if he's not and Zach comes back or Zach plays, the second he comes in there, I'm going to hope to hell he is. So it's not about I'm a Zach guy or a Mike White guy. I'm a guy who's come to a realization. As though I hope I'm wrong, I've turned in the sense that in my heart now, I believe that Zach Wilson's a bust. I do believe that. I hope I'm wrong, but I cannot lie. I didn't get into this game of making videos and doing YouTube content to lie to people, and I cannot lie anymore. I believe he's a bust. Sorry. But if you still like this video, subscribe to the channel. You can hit Bald's head. You can watch another video. You can like the video. You don't have to dislike the video just because you don't agree with my take. That's not what that's for. That's for like saying this video wasn't good or it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I mean, if you didn't like the video, fine, hit the unlike button or the don't like button, but don't hit it because you don't agree with my take. Let's be adults. I mean, give me a shot here. I'm working hard for you guys. Anyway, I hope you like the stuff. Sub to the channel. See you tonight on my live show every Wednesday night, Wacky Wednesday. Take care, everyone.